things I just want to let you guys see behind me. We are going to be going live for Alec Murdaugh today. He's going to be behind me now. I've had an opportunity to walk this area quite a bit, and it seems like there's a jail right here. That right there, that building right there, is a jail. So it looks like it's attached right to this courthouse. I don't anticipate. Sorry, it's bouncing around. I've got two different cameras on this tripod, and so I was going to try to go live on TikTok, but I can only have it either sideways or vertical. So I chose to go vertical so you guys can get a bigger lay of the land out here. Now, I don't anticipate Alec being seen like we had over in Colton County. He was pulled right into the back gate, and he was marched into that back gate. Here, I think it's going to be a little different because, like I said, that white building right there, that right there is the jail. So I have a funny feeling they're probably housing him in the jail for security, and then going to walk him or walk him over into the courthouse. Now the main entrance is right over there. That's where the main entrance is, and so I anticipate that James Griffin and Dick Harpootlian will be entering in that area over there. So I hope everything's coming in crystal clear for you guys. I'm running straight YouTube today. I'm not going to be showing you guys anything. When I get exhausted or tired, my room's not too far from here. So I've got, I'm set. I'm good. I just want to tell everybody thank you for being here as we sit here and watch this. Now, granted, I don't anticipate that, this is going to continue to go on, but we do have, more hearings that are going to be coming up, including that new trial. Just recently we learned from the reports that Jeffrey Hill has been arrested. Jeffrey Hill is Becky Hill's son, and he was arrested for wiretapping crimes. And it makes you wonder, is this associated with him listening in on people's conversations? And it makes me very, very scared and concerned that there's not better protocols in place in our counties, especially with our IT department. Our IT department has a lot of power and access to what's going on with our politicians, and we have to trust that they have integrity, they have character, and they have class to do those jobs. We don't want to know that there's a private citizen spying on stuff that they have no business listening to. So I have great concerns about that. And then of course we have the situation where Alec Murdaugh, guys, you guys know how I feel about some of these, the standardized criminal sentencing. You know what my position is. I believe that this is the best system we have. It's not perfect, but it works, right? And it's very difficult once you get into the system to get out, which is a problem. But what I have a problem with is that he executed his wife and son. Okay, on their property. He was found guilty of that very thing. So my question is, why was he facing 1,000 years? I did not mess up my words, folks. He was facing 1,000 years for the financial crimes. 1,000 years. He was actually looking at over 200 years just for the 22 charges that he accepted, during that plea deal. Now, he's going to be sentenced, and it's going to be significant, but not that significant. But again, it comes down to my problem. He executed 2 people in cold blood and would not be facing 1,000 years. Yet you touch somebody's stinking money, you're buried under the jail. I have a problem with that. You're telling me that money is more valuable than a human life, and that is unacceptable here in America. Money is important, but you can't take it with you when you leave, period. So I have a problem with these sentencing guidelines, and I will continue to fight on that front into the foreseeable future until we have some effective change. But you guys know I don't care for Murdaughs. I don't care for them. I think that this family, they were in power entirely too long, and this is one of the issues that we have and why we need term limits. Because when you have somebody in power too long, that's exactly what they get, power. right? Everybody is beholden to them. They are officials for the people. We are the boss, not them. And that's the problem you get when you allow somebody to stay in power in your community entirely too long. They start thinking they can skirt the law. They start thinking they're above the law, and now they start stealing from people. And because nobody will believe that they could do something like that. Well, Alex did. He stole millions and millions of dollars from people, and he tried to cover up his crime by executing his wife and son. It is now his. You guys know how Russell Laffitte was another issue I had. Russell Laffitte, I did not believe was as culpable as he was. I went back and reviewed his culpability, and quite frankly, I was a little amiss that that he got 7 years, and thought that was a little too harsh. But honestly, after oh, sorry, I don't know. Guys, hold on a second. I think I'm going to have to turn off my notifications. They're starting to pop up and distract me a little bit. Mama Llama in the house. Happy birthday, little man. So I don't know whose birthday it is. Let me see if I can scroll down here. Whoop, whoop. Is it Sagey or Saggy? Probably Sagey, right? Oh, goodness. My little man turns 5 today. Little man, little man. Happy birthday from Bullhorn Betty. I bet you're such a big boy. A big boy. Congratulations to our resident big boy. Our resident big boy junior. We don't want to take away from big boy. Now we know where he gets his name from. Mommy named him Big Boy. Aw, now we got something to pick on Big Boy about. Oh, good Lord. And no, I didn't bring the sound card with me. I did bring the computer in case I needed to get some things done. So let me get this off here real quick. Hold on a second. There we go. I got 2 phones. I wish I could show you guys. Actually, you know what? Let me take a picture of it, and I'll show you guys a picture of my little setup here. I think you guys might like it. I got it too. I'm actually getting a new one. I'm getting a new phone holder for this, and it's going to be where I can turn one portrait and one, and then I'm good to go. I can run literally on all my channels with that, because you can't do, you guys know I'm a TikToker too, right? So you can't do TikTok, especially TikTok lives running through, I've tried it, running through StreamYard. I can't get the key. I don't know. If somebody knows how to do it, you're going to have to call me and walk me through it, because I can't do it. I'd love to be able to run TikTok at the same time that I'm running YouTube, but right now I have to, in order for me to do that, I've got to run all of my other apps. I can run, oh, look who we got here. We got Court TV coming. Court TV is in the house. I have a funny feeling Court TV is our pool TV crew. So there you go. So there you go. What do we got here? Alex probably killed Stephen. No, Jason, I'm kind of off the whole Stephen Smith. I got a good understanding now of what happened. So let's have a small discussion. We're here. He's not going to be here. The court's not going to start until 10 a.m. So we got plenty of time to sit here and chit chat for the prelude to this sentencing hearing today. So let's have a discussion a little bit about Stephen Smith and the situation that happened. Many people thought he was put in that road, that he was staged in that road, that this was a hate crime, this was intentional homicide, and then we find out that that's not the case, right? We're starting to learn that he was hit. It was an automobile accident. They're not sure exactly what it was. We do have somebody in the community that said, hey, I was on that stretch of roadway and I hit something. I thought it was a deer. The next morning, that guy went back to the scene of the crime to see what he hit, and there was the crime scene unit there, dealing with Stephen Smith. So this is too coincidental. I think at this point, law enforcement knows exactly who's responsible for Stephen Smith. They allege that that he was hit possibly by a truck mirror. They're wide enough where it won't leave that indentation or impression in the brain or in the skull, but it's got a forceful enough that it can split it, as well as dislocate that right shoulder. So we can tell that the majority of that impact was probably more so on the right side of the body as opposed to the left side of the body, just because the significant damages are on that. Now, even though he wasn't struck head on. His whole body, there was hardly any trauma. All the trauma was in his head and the head range. But I know that a lot of people think Alec is responsible, but there's more evidence leaning a different way in this case. And I can honestly tell you guys that this day, that this does not look like the Murdaughs were involved. Now, people may question, was one of the Murdaughs in the vehicle at the time that this happened? There is that possibility. I haven't ruled that out yet. But I have a kind of a funny feeling that everybody knows everybody in that community. And with Randolph coming out there and offering to help Stephen Smith's mother, it really feels like somebody that has at least some type of close ties to the Murdaughs may have been the one operating that vehicle, because let's face it, Randolph Murdaugh, he was the fixer of the family, right? If the boys got in trouble, who did they call? They didn't call Alec. They called Randolph. They called Grandpa. Grandpa was the fixer of the family. And everybody went to Grandpa. So, yeah, don't forget to hit the like buttons this morning, guys. Again, I was actually surprised, to be honest with you. I had expected a lot more media to be out here this morning covering this case. Maybe they're coming in a little bit later. Obviously, you can see behind me, Court TV is finally setting up. And we've got another gentleman, very nice gentleman that was chatting with me this morning, setting up. He's getting a tent up. I wish I could bring the tent. I should have thought about bringing the tent, but to be honest with you, it's such a pain in the butt. I've got the umbrellas that hook to all my equipment right here. So let's just go over some information as we're leading up into this whole entire situation. Give me just a second. So, according to this plea deal, the 27-year sentence is an insurance policy for prosecutors in case his murder conviction is overturned. So they want him to be in jail. That's why they chose to elicit this plea deal from Alec. Again, he had over 100 charges, and he was facing over 1,000 years in jail if convicted for those charges. So it's some serious and significant time. So they decided to plea this down to 22 charges. Those charges include, I think, money laundering. Hold on. I think I stuck my notes in the bag, and I can't find them. I guarantee they're at the very bottom the bag, so we'll try to do this. So it was something like so it was money laundering, it was stealing from his clients as well as the law firm, and it was like forgery of some sort, executing a document of some sort. I'll go through it a little more in detail with you. So the 27-year sentence is an insurance for prosecutors. I just told you that. Murdaugh will have served almost 23 years of the sentence, even if he's a model prisoner. So they're even saying that he could be 76 years old before he could be released. 76 years old. He still has some sort of life. People are living longer and longer these days. Once upon a time, making it to 100 was very difficult to do. And now we are we're living past. I mean, I think we had one lady just recently celebrate 114 years old. And she was just a precious soul. So I think we're living longer and longer, and even 76, he still has a life to live. Maybe not much of one, but he has opportunity to live his life and to be free before he makes it to the ground. Now, granted, we don't know his health, his well-being, what the future holds for Alec Murdaugh. Let's just keep going over some information. Okay. So Murdaugh, as we know, is serving 2 consecutive terms of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. People have been wondering what's going on with Buster. Where's Buster in all of this? As you guys know, I'm a little with Buster, and there's only a few things. Not that I kind of feel really bad for him. He lost his entire family. Let's face it. He's a young man that went from having everything to literally being robbed of his entire family. So in our sense, you know, that part of us breaks our heart, okay? You know, that part of me hurts for him. He's getting like a $530,000 settlement, and I know some people were all up in arms about him getting a dime. But he's a victim too, guys, and maybe not so much as the other victims, but again, he was robbed. This is everything to him. This is all, you know, he has. His dad's gone, his mom's gone, his brother's gone. This is his only fresh start to life. You know what I'm saying? This is his only fresh start to life. So let's not beat him up over the settlement because, again, you know, he doesn't deserve this. He didn't deserve any of this. And even if he did do some shenanigans or some stupid BS, you know, young, dumb kids, that's just one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. So we just want to make sure. We just want to make sure that we're doing okay. So, anyways, let's keep going. So, oh yeah, he's living in Hilton Head with his girlfriend Brooklyn. Many of you guys know her. She was calling because media was out. I guess they don't realize that, you know, we can be on public property. We understand it was a hard situation for them, but it is what it is. So Russell Lafitte, and this is one thing I watched on that Murdaugh, the 48 Hours, is just how culpable Russell Lafitte actually was. You know, he was just. No, I'll stay back here. We'll have to turn it around. I'll have to blow it up for you guys when we get there because I don't want to get really much closer. I have a funny feeling they're going to be pulling people back because we got all the camera crews back here in this area here, but I didn't know where to sit and I didn't want to get in trouble. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So he was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. So this is, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but what was it? It was the Mallory Beach situation. They ended up getting quite a bit of a settlement. So the settlement was actually for, I think, $15.5 million. But after they sold everything, I think they ended up getting I think it was close to $2.8 million from the coffers of the Alec Murdaugh's coffers that was sent to them. Obviously, a short cry from the $15.5 million they were settled, you know, or awarded. But they did get something, and granted, it's not going to ever bring Mallory back. It's never going to fix the pain and suffering that they are going into or anything like that. But it is something for the family, you know. And you got to remember that family came under. Oh, hey, T-Carp. I didn't say hi to anybody. It's hard to see. I'm actually even wearing my glasses so I can read. I can read the screen because when I'm on this screen, I can't see it because I'm blind now. Old Rusty Kettle, it's nice to see you. I am Team Summer. Turkey Man, it's all really, really nice to see you. We're here in beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina right now as we're making way for the Alec Murdaugh case and just, you know, trying to see what we can do. I don't know where James Griffin is going to be. I don't know where he's going to be walking in at. It doesn't look like we're going to see Alec going into court. We're only going to see him inside there in court. And I think that is because the jail that he's being housed in is connected to the courthouse. So they just kind of have an escort over to the courthouse. So I don't think we're going to see him. But, you know, James and Dick, they got to come in like everybody else. So maybe we'll have an opportunity to speak with him. I really don't know. I'm kind of excited at the possibility of asking Dick some questions or James some questions. I'm very interested in that. But I am going to turn this around this way because I do need to start. What time is it? I do need to start watching for people coming in. We're starting to get some media coming out here this morning. It's 8:06 in the morning. But again, like right over here, that's the sign. Right over here is where they said the main entrance is to get into the courthouse. I don't think they're going into the front door. Let me just turn this around. Does it let me? Yeah. So I don't know when they're going to let us in. I might go in there. Because once they all get here, there's not really a whole lot left. You know what I'm saying? There's not really a whole lot left. I think I am going to move up a little bit closer. Might as well just annoy the shit out of JLR, right? Fuck them. They'll probably move us back here again, but I'm going to get up here. There we go. Because I really don't give a shit, right? I keep forgetting about that. There we go. There. I don't want to get in his way, but I was here first. I think I got one of my legs down. Give me just a second. For whatever reason, it's not really level. That's more level. There we go. I think it's the ground. The ground's penetrating. Like, not penetrating, but sinking. It's a little moist. I hate that word. All right, guys, I'm going to turn this around. Let me go get my equipment and bring it up here. I'm back. All right, hold on. I had to move the equipment. I had to move everything. We turned around this way. Okay, there we go. That's better! Yay! I asked the news guy, I'm like, will they yell at us for being over this close? Because one of the reasons why I get here so early is to get a good spot, right? Like, I'm here before most of the cameramen because I got to work for it, you know, or social media. So we have to work for it to get out here. So it always helps to be the first. Then it's kind of hard for them to be mean to you, right? So we're here, and everything's going to go. I don't know what people think. What do you guys think? I got a question. Do you think after Jeffrey Hill was arrested, do you think... This thing's still off. Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Do you think that Alec has a better chance? Does he have a better chance of the new trial? The motion for new trial. Like, we knew that SLED was investigating the claims, and I just find it really bizarre that they arrested the clerk's son for wiretapping. Like, how did this all come about is kind of my question. Good morning, Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's nice to see everyone. I am freezing out here. I'm starting to get a little cold. I think it's starting to seep through. I got coffee. I got everything I need for right now. I forgot it at the car, so I might just have to leave. I think there's enough media here that I can probably... Let me get something else on. I'm freezing. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit. So I think I'm going to start getting into a little bit warmer. But I got some warm coffee out in the car and I forgot it. Yep. So this is a case that I've been following for quite some time. Went out to look at the area. I actually went, if you want to, I think it's Behind the Gates is the title of it. If you guys would like to see what it really looks like back there in real footage, in real time, you can go to my videos and search Behind the Gates. I think it's the title of the title I put on it. So you can actually get that. I gotta get cookouts on. I'm starting to get cold. So now we're in it to win it, guys. We're gonna be here until Whew, much better. I look like an Eskimo. I can't help it, right? A little. Fix those. But the one thing I don't have is I don't have my gloves. I forgot my gloves. I left them at the house. So I figured if I get to, like right now I'm okay. I got enough to put my hands in and keep them warm, but you never know. Whew. I wish when I stick my hands in the jacket that the gloves would grow out of it. But we're out here. Let me get back to some of the stuff. I dropped my phone. So let me get back to some of the information so we can talk about it. You know what? I don't even know what the... Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I don't even know what I did with my phone. I put it in my back pocket. So we got about another hour and 45 minutes before people get here. I don't know if I'm going to get to the courthouse. I really don't. I wanted to go in, but I really don't know if I really want to fight all this equipment with me, and I got to drag it back to the car. So I kind of feel like after this trial starts, I may go back to the room and just run the hearing, not trial, the hearing, the sentencing from the room. But to be honest with you, I don't anticipate it being, too awfully long. I mean, the deal is done. I mean, he just has to approve it, and right? I mean, there's some paperwork associated with it. I'm sure there's going to be some victim impact. Do they have victim impact statements? I'm just, I'm kind of unsure about the victim impact statements. So, anybody know? So it looks like Alec also agreed to pay $9 million. $9 million. So, and it says that, this is what it says. It says the bulk of the proceeds, about $2.7 million, will go to the Beach family, as well as 2 survivors of the crash. Another boat crash victim receives $100,000. And then Buster Murdaugh is to receive $530,000. And like I said, a lot of people were very, very, very upset about the whole situation with Buster. And I'm not upset about that at all, because to be honest with you, again, he didn't ask for this. He didn't know any of this stuff was going on. I'm sure his head is spinning. Even if I don't like where he was sitting in that courtroom, that doesn't change the fact that, he lost his mom, he lost his brother, and his father's spending the rest of his life in jail, at least 30 stinking years, at minimum. So obviously the state must think that there are some issues with their trial against him, because they did this, from my understanding, from what it's being reported, they did this to solidify his time in jail, and so he can't wiggle out of his murder charges. And I just found that to be an odd statement, to be honest with you, in its totality, because let's face it, why are they so concerned? If he did it and they got the proof and they've convicted him once, that proof's not really going to change. Granted, they may not be able to. I don't know how I have to look into the law. It's been a long time. Like for a retrial, I don't know if how they had some stuff excluded. For example, Cousin Eddie. Cousin Eddie was excluded out of the first trial, but somehow or another they screwed up and got him put back in. Where the heck is my? Hold on a second. I'm having an issue here. There we go. And so they were able to get a lot of that stuff in. And a lot of the financial crimes, they were only allowed to bring in certain aspects. But once the defense accidentally, it starts at 10 a.m. this morning. And again, we're going to be out here. I was going to go in, and I started thinking about it. And I'm like, do I really want to fight with all the people to get in? It's, it doesn't really bother me one way or the other. So whatever, But, so... Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, I don't know what I'm going to do here today, but we'll figure it out. And then we got some other places to go that we never got an opportunity to go to on our trips to Colton County. So it's nice to see everybody. I don't like that Busta has not even given his mother or brother a headstone. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, he didn't even sit on the side of the court hearing. I mean, there's a lot here. And not only that, but it's not Buster's responsibility. He's got aunts, he's got uncles, and they're rich as shit. Let's be honest. There is no reason why that lady and her son should be without a headstone, if that is the case. Now, I haven't been out there. I don't know. I'm planning on going by there and checking it out later today. But if there is no headstone, you know, they lost an awful lot over a whole bunch of money that they didn't even know was not even theirs. So it's like, you know, I'm so disappointed in the Murdaugh family. And you know what? That really, if that's true, we'll go out there. I'm going to be out there. So we're going to find out whether there's a headstone or not. I don't want to get into the conversation without seeing it for myself, because you just never know if somebody's throwing some BS up here. I don't know. I haven't been out there. But if that is the case, I would be sorely disappointed in the whole Murdaugh family. I mean, the whole entire Murdaugh family, if that be the case, which I don't know. Girl, you should get in. What does it say? You should go in there early enough, but I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to deal with the crowd either. Yeah, I mean, it's just because court TV's here. They're a pooled camera. I'm going to be able to watch it, you know, and not have any issues. So I'm cool, you know. I'm literally going to wait here until 10, and I'm out of here. Once they go in there, I'm out of here. I'll come back or just sit and chill and wait until, you know, hopefully get Alec or not Alec, Dick or James on the way out. I don't know. I don't even know how that's going to all work, but I'm going to try. So we'll see. So I'm going to leave you guys just for a few moments, okay? And I'm going to go back to the vehicle. I need to get some coffee. I'm starting to get a little chilly. My toes are starting to get a little chilly, so I've got some hot coffee in the car. I'm going to go run back there and get it. I'm just going to give you guys, you know, a view of the courthouse and stuff like that until I get back. Just a few minutes, okay? Just give me just a few minutes. Yeah. You know what I'll do? This is what I'll do. I'll walk and talk with you. Yeah, I don't want you guys feeling like you guys are left. Oh, I can't because I'm not on StreamYard. Shit. It's not going to let me access it. Crap. That's the one good thing about StreamYard. I could have both phones going at once. We might have to cancel this and do it again. But I have a funny feeling if I do, then I'm probably going to have some issues. But we'll see. All right, I'm back. Got my warm coffee. It's kind of not so... I didn't realize I've been out here so long. And not only that, it took me like an hour to set up because I'm on this slow phone. Because I've got the, this one here, it's got no... it's cracked all over, but I wanted to have the Samsung that Jennifer gave me because it flips around. You can do front recording and back recording. So since this phone won't work on anything else, you can't even put a SIM card in it, I decided to run with it, but it's slow as hell. It literally, that's why I keep asking you guys if I'm doing good. So, all right. Sorry guys, I'm back. I'm freezing. Good morning, working some stuff. Yeah, good morning guys. Good morning. We're going to be out, so I'll be here. I'll be here through this, and then tomorrow I'm going to be heading to a different case, and then we'll be heading to Layla Santinello. Good morning. Put an end to hate. Yes, it is a big difference from Florida. Actually, Florida was getting a little bit cooler. It was getting a little bit cooler, but not like this. Like, it was 73 when I left. When I got into Georgia, it was like 50 something. And then as I was getting to South Carolina, it raised to like 52. I think it even got down to like 48 degrees somewhere in Georgia. And I'm like, crap, because I'm still in flip-flops at this point. I did put socks and some, slippers that I could easily take the flip-flops off and put them in if I got too cold. I'm not stupid. I didn't just bring flip-flops and have nothing to change into. So I did have some socks and some shoes to change into in case it got too cold. But I toughened it out. But by the time I did show up in South Carolina to my hotel, it was like 53 degrees. It's still a little chilly. Woo, 18 here. That's too cold for me. I remember there was parts of Idaho that Olivia and I were driving in that was 17 degrees. We had frost on our window. I could barely see out the window. And the only thing we could do is just turn the heat on like as hot as it could possibly be, because the water in the lines, you couldn't spray water on your windshield. The water in the lines was slap frozen. And like there's no anti-lock brakes at that temperature. You pump, baby, pump. I think anybody that lives in the cold weather knows what I'm talking about. All you do is you tell yourself, pump. You're pumping the brake to stop. 32, that's just too cold. It's 50, I think it's gonna get up to maybe 57 today, I think is what I heard. I brought like 1,000 different types of jackets just to keep me warm. I got some warm, not so warm coffee. I put it in this thing so it wouldn't get cold, and it's not cold. It's still warm, but burr. I hate being cold. Well, it's not that. Like I said, it's 53. I'm kind of comfortable. I got long johns on under my jeans. I got boots on. I wish I would have put the thicker socks on or doubled the socks up, because my toes are a little cold, even with the boots. They are a little cold. I probably should have wore my lugs. My son is still wearing t-shirts. Yeah, well, this Florida girl has jackets. I pretty much under here has got a t-shirt. I got a long little knitted like sweater shirt that goes over my BULLHORNBETTY, if you see what is it? Silence is an answer to my BULLHORNBETTY shirt. Oh, my ears. I don't know really what all to even talk about right now, because Alec Murdaugh is just I don't know. I know that, I was just talking to a reporter out here, and I was asking him, how he feels about, the whole thing about Jeffrey being arrested. And he just basically says, because he's been doing this, he said he's been doing this now for 20 or 30 years. And he says, I've learned a long time ago, he goes, just when I think I know what happened, he goes, you find out you don't. And just a really, really nice guy. Actually, I'll just turn this around. The guy right behind me, the one that's setting up the tent. Where is the tent? Oh, wait. There he is. Is it over there? Maybe I'm in the way? I can't see him. Where the hell is he? He's up there. He's like right behind me. I don't know to see. There he is. There he is. See the took me forever to find that. It's that guy right there. It's that guy right there. So, but they have it's a nice little campus here. Like they have I don't know. I think that's like the some other type of courthouse right there. Maybe Superior. This is the administration building right here. Obviously, right directly behind me is the county courthouse. Then you got the white building over here. That's the jail. So it is a nice little, county, city type of facility here that kind of has everything all in one place. So, and there's like the administration building. I don't know what they actually do over there, if that's like, deeds and stuff like that. I can't remember if that's the county commission, it might be that. Because our administration building holds our county commissioners and all of our bureaucrats. So that may be what it is. That might be the bureaucrats, right? But again, still waiting for James. And I'm thinking that they would probably get here early, or they would have went over to the jail and prepared their client and sat with their client. Because you got to remember, James and Dick are friends with Alec. This is a friend of theirs. This is a colleague they worked with and fought next to and, probably fought against at times. That's the way lawyers are. They go to the mattress in that courtroom and go out and have a beer and play a round of golf after it's said and done. Good morning, Raheem. Oh, God, Aileen, you're too much. I accidentally blocked the real Me Too and didn't realize it. Took Tuesdays to figure out. Okay, so she is unblocked, though. Yeah, it happens. Anybody that has a YouTube channel or is a moderator, I can tell you, I personally have done it myself. It's like right when you're about to block somebody, like, one of these a-holes, it's like you go to block them, and right when you get ready to push block, it pops up on you and you get the person underneath it. It sucks. So, yes. I gotta tell you, this has been, the drive out here was really good. I didn't really have, because I left at like 1:30, or 12:30, somewhere around there. I left and started heading this way. And I thought, oh crap, I'm going to hit that 5 o'clock traffic. It's going to be really, really, really bad. And I'm going to be stuck and it's going to take me twice as long to get there and blah, blah, blah. Well, it just so happened that I hit like country right at 5 o'clock. So country traffic is like 20 cars. It was amazing. I had no blockage. There was only a couple places on I-95 that really gave me trouble, where you kind of had to slow down. In Georgia, I can tell you can tell like everybody is speeding like 83 miles an hour. And then you get to Georgia and everybody slams on the brakes and goes 74 miles an hour all the way through Georgia. They had cops everywhere. And then you get to, literally right before the South Carolina border, everybody just starts speeding up and flying by you, and it's back to 83 miles an hour. So you gotta, like the entire Georgia, you just gotta drive under the speed limit or the speed limit. You can't speed. You can speed through there and you might get away with it once or twice. Trust me, your number's coming. Just don't speed through Georgia. It's the worst state to ever be in. I don't know why they're so sticklers with the speed. My only thing is, it's a money generating racket for them, granted. We shouldn't be speeding, right? They wouldn't be able to get you a ticket if you weren't speeding to begin with and you were following the rules of the road. So there is that. There is that, right? You choose to skirt the law. You play stupid games. You get stupid prizes, and it's usually a ticket that's about $300, right? Knock on wood, thank God, Bullhorn Betty has not gotten a ticket in a really long time. The last ticket I got was in Washington, D.C., and it was mailed to my house because apparently they have some type of video surveillance in Washington, D.C. that monitors your speed. And good Lord, you don't even have to be pulled over by an officer, and you don't even have to run a red light camera. They just send you a stinking ticket. It is ridiculous. That to me is like going too far. Going too far. I understand you got speed limits but you know what? If there's an officer not there, you don't get to write the damn ticket. Nobody should have to pay for it. You have to prove it. You have to prove it. You have to prove it. And you can't determine, and I'm sorry, they can go in there and say that machine's calibrated and everything else, but you cannot know that for an absolute certain that machine gets that number right every single time. I'm sorry, you just can't. Not something that's been up there for 15 years. I don't care how good a calibration it is. So I don't know. I just think it's BS, but that's just my personal opinion. So we'll be out here in this freezing cold weather with my toes feeling all numb and stuff for quite some time. And it is what it is. So if Magnolia's watching, say hi to her. She's sitting in the car back there. So I don't know why she's not out here with us, but she's not. Interesting, huh? I believe it's for the money he stole. It is for the money he stole. So just to break it down for all the new people that are coming in, he was facing over 100 charges. I can't remember the exact number, but it was definitely over. Because at one time it was like 98 charges, and then they charged him with additional charges, and I can't remember what those additional charges were, but it pushed him up over 100 charges, right? It pushed him up over 100 charges. And so with this plea deal, and that was over 1,000 years, he was facing 1,000 years for financial crimes. 1,000 years. And again, it comes down to me not liking the fact that he can kill his wife and son in cold blood. I want to put this in perspective. Kill his wife and son in cold blood. Be convicted of that and get 30 years. Or life sentence, whatever, right? Yet he goes and rips a bunch of people off, and you get 1,000 years out of that. I have a problem. I'm going to continue to have a problem with that because you're putting money over people's lives. And that is what our justice system is advocating for this day and age. That money is more valuable than a human life. And I have a moral problem with that. I have a moral problem with that. If anything, he should have been getting 30 years for the hundreds financial crimes he committed, and 1,000 years for the murder of his wife and son in cold blood. Never mind, we still don't know what happened to Gloria Satterfield. Did she really fall? I mean, but we thought Stephen Smith, right? We thought Stephen Smith was murdered, and he was in a sense, but we thought he got killed by Alec Murdaugh or somebody in the family. We are learning today that that's most likely not the case, that it's somebody else that hit Alec with the mirror or something hanging off the truck when they passed him, and it caused him. He probably didn't even know what happened. It was probably so quick. He probably saw. But my question is how could he not hear the car driving down? Why would he be in the middle of the road, and how would he be so close to that car that he could get hit in the head? Unless they didn't even have their driver's license, their headlights on. But even if they didn't have their headlights on, you would think he would be able to hear the exhaust of the truck, knowing it's barreling to him. I don't know. It's just, well, he's going to, because he's in trouble, right, Sonia? So I just keep blocking him. It doesn't matter. He's Raheem. He is a troll. I've already threatened him this morning that I'm going to be going to his employment if he continues this. That's all I can do. I've already confirmed that he works where he works. I've already confirmed he's a part-time employee. I've already confirmed what department he works in. So, and he tried to reach out to me this morning and try to say that that's a mistake, that's a lie. And I told him, I said, darn well I know, and I know. So cut the crap out. I just want you to leave me alone. I want you to leave my people alone. But if you really want to, I will go to Charleston, South Carolina, and start filing some complaints and start working with your politicians to make sure you don't do this to another person again if that's what you want me to do. I will not go and approach you, but I will approach the people, decision makers in your community, to make sure that you no longer get to do criminal activity online. And that's exactly what it is, criminal activity. When you harass somebody online, it's cyber stalking, cyber harassment, and it is a felony. And I'm sick of these people acting like it's not. Don't be worrying about everybody else's charges or what they've done in their past when you're actively committing fraud or actively committing felonies as we speak. You need to worry about your own criminal conduct before you worry about somebody else's. That's my stance. Just because you ain't been caught doesn't mean you ain't committing crimes. And I've just about had it. I travel all over the country. I will start traveling it all over the country for my own justice if I need to do that. And I know that the people in my chat will support it 100% because you know what? It doesn't really matter. This nonsense is coming to the end. When I came on here and this started happening, I told you I was going to clean up YouTube, and I plan on doing just that. You know, at one point I had help of a friend, but he chose to stab me in the back and be a complete dick. But that's neither here nor there. Smell like a rose. He's a mod for BT. Yeah, and other people. It's the whole Hate Betty squad. It's an illegal, unlawful organization, period. And you guys can sit there and support it if you want, but I'm starting to think that she's really starting to show how unstable and unhinged she is, don't you think? I mean, she just can't let go. That to me is a very sick individual. And I don't know what you guys call it, but I have to say that you got to be pretty bit and twisted when you just can't let something go, when you just can't move on. That's psychological behavior. That's horrible psychological behavior. None of us deal with that. We have a problem, we move on, right? 2 years, and you guys think that she's stable at this point? Really? You don't think she has any mental illness whatsoever? Yeah. She's putting it on full display for everybody on YouTube to see. Just saying. Just saying. They say don't go real life, but bullying you, Betty, is real life. Yes, it is real life. And it's real life every day. So I'm done. Yeah. We'll just keep moving forward and moving forward, right? Because look at what they're doing to Sonia right now. Do you think that's not real life to her? You think her being harassed and she's never done anything wrong but be a kind woman. These people don't care. They're out to destroy at all costs. If you guys haven't realized that by now, these people are animals and they're evil. There's nothing good or Christian or godly about anything that they're doing. Nothing. They're bullies, and you guys pay them very well to bully people. An illegal bully campaign, and you guys have been, and the people that have paid for it have been complicit in it. So shame on you. I'm over it. You know, the best thing you can do is start praying to God and ask for forgiveness. That's what I'd be doing. Because there's nothing good that can come of bullying. I don't bully people. I advocate. Advocate with a bullhorn on public property where I'm lawfully able to work. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't really care if people have a problem with it. It's not their problem to have, not mine. Right. That's all that matters. It is. And you know what? What else was I going to say? I forget. You know, when we were going through all of this stuff, you know, I looked at the psychology of Alec Murdaugh. Do you guys remember the interview Buster had? I think Martha McCallum. Remember that? He acknowledged that he believes his father is a psychopath. Do you know, and I was looking into psychopath because we always say this person's a psychopath or that person's a psychopath. And I keep thinking, you know, if there's really this mental behavior of a psychopath, I'm sure a few other people on YouTube can be added to that list. But either way, you know, you look at the psychopath, I didn't realize that there's a lot of psychopaths in our environment. There's a lot of diagnosed psychopaths that walk among us. Not all of them kill. I want to repeat that. I did not realize there are a lot of psychopaths, people with mental illness. They are psychopathic and they don't kill people. You know, I think there's a stigma with a lot of this mental illness, especially like sociopaths, psychopaths. You know, it's behaviors. It's not, it's the behavior. So, for example, I'm not like a narcissist, right? You know that it's all about them. They have this facade. You know, if anything tries to crumble with that facade, they seek and destroy to eliminate the threat. Because that's just the narcissistic part of them, right? And when I say eliminate the threat, I don't mean killing somebody. I mean, damaging them or doing something to damage them because they're narcissistic and they have to look the best in the eyes of a person. But you have the sociopath and you have the psychopath too. Narcissistics hurt people, but they don't kill people, and typically. And then you got psychopathic people, and a lot of the people that have been known to kill have been diagnosed psychopathic. Not everybody, obviously, but there is, but I was a kind of, when you hear psychopath, you automatically think danger, 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 and stuff like that. You never realize that there are people that are diagnosed psychopaths that have never hurt anybody. And so I it's weird. I don't get it. I really don't get it. She is asking a question. I answered her the best I could. Who asked the question? Do you know how to get your other account URL? Yeah, if you guys have been blocked for any reason and you're considering, because I know there's been a lot of bumpy stuff going on here, and maybe you guys are done with the BS and you want to come and hang out and talk about these cases, I'm open to unblocking people. I'm open to that. But the bottom line is you can't be a dick in the chat. There's people in here that there's people in here that have anxiety. They can't handle it. Like, you're torturing people that done nothing to you. I mean, just cut it out. So if you guys would like to come back here, I don't care. It doesn't bother me one way or another. It really doesn't. So I just don't want, because I don't read the chat, right? You're not really attacking me. You're attacking all the innocent people in my chat. Because if you come here every day, you realize I very rarely, monitor the chat. What ends up happening if there's questions or something that I need to discuss or need to see, my mods in the chat usually take a screenshot and send it to me while I'm live through a different way than on StreamYard or YouTube. So, you get what I'm saying? So I don't really pay attention to the chat anyway. So why don't you just be kind to one another? I mean, if you're trying to affect me, you guys have spent so much money trying to attack me for what? I'm here. And I'm in South Carolina covering another case. Like, you've done literally nothing but cause yourself anxiety and a whole bunch of money to be spent over a bunch of hate. Money that could have been used for children, money that could have been used for Christmas gifts for the disadvantaged, but nobody cares about them because nobody really cares about the victims. They only care about the creators that they've got to bully other creators to try to show and push their weight around. Well, I'm sorry. I don't have to push my weight around. I'm just who I am, but you ain't pushing me around. That's where we come from. So we got this thing going on today, and we're just going to keep moving forward, guys. And we got to let some of the frustration and anger of what we're going through from these animals just go. You got to let go and let God, and just stop engaging with them if they come into the chat room. Approach them with love. Right? There's no better way to change the heart than to treat them with kindness, right? You can only be mean to somebody so long if they're treating you with courtesy, right? That's the way I look at it. We have a lot of love in this room. Look at all the amazing stuff that we're doing for Grayson, an 8-year-old boy that doesn't have a lot. His mother's struggling this year. All she wants is prayers that she starts a new job in the beginning of the year. We sponsored that family. And look at all the stuff that we've been able to get for that little boy. He is going to have an amazing Christmas because of the love and the generosity of this channel. Now, that is something that nobody's going to be able to take away from us, right? We do good, and it feels good. And all we need to do is inspire them to do good. And if we can get everybody inspired to do their part in the world, just think how much beautiful of a place this would be. We just all got to quit fighting. We all got to realize our role in the world, and we all have our voice, and we can all have our voice. But this cancel culture crap is not going to work for me. I'm sorry, but I'm surprised they actually thought it would. I'm Bullhornbetty. If you don't realize, I've got pretty thick skin. I'm a little gooey inside, but I'm pretty thick skin, right? I'm not going to jail like Murdaugh, I can tell you that. I didn't kill my wife and son, who knew, right? You wouldn't know that. And I can promise you, I did not steal $9 million. And I promise you, if I did steal $9 million, I ain't going to be in the United States for them to catch me. I'm just saying, I'm not that stupid. I get $9 million, folks, I'm out of here, right? I am out of here. I truly believe he stole more than $9 million. I think that's all they could prove, guys. I mean, 10 years, 10 years. I was looking at his net worth, and it's like even 2023, that man has been in jail for some significant amount of time right now, right? He's worth more now than he was when he was out running the streets stealing money from people. Who knew? I looked at it today. They said he was worth like $2.3 million, maybe 2 million, or maybe 1. I can't remember. And last year it was 1.8. The year before that it was 1.6. The year before that it was 1.5. So he's steadily increased his net worth even while he's in prison. Explain that. Make that make sense to me. I looked at it this morning. It was on Google. It must be true. That's got to be. Where's my sound bar? See, everybody's laughing at me because they say I'm going crazy with the effects. I don't really care. Right? I enjoy the effects. Like right now, I want my effects, and it's driving me nuts. I can't do the effects. Nice to see you, Jules. Did Alana get my birthday? Was she with you when I sang? Oh, Mike. Really? Big Mac Mike calling Alec an angel. You should have the horns behind it. Where's the devil emoji? Big Mac Mike. Now he's worth $100 in commissary. Right? That's funny. She would share the money with us. Yeah, I probably would. I'd probably be getting out of the Dodge if I stole $9 million. I got to be honest with you. If I'm going to be as greedy as that to steal $9 million, I ain't thinking about you guys. I'm out of here. I ain't sharing shit. Yeah. Alana saw it and it touched her heart. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, I'm glad I got to make her day special. I really am. And we got a little beautiful 5-year-old boy. It's his birthday today. He is a big boy. Congratulations. Little llama, right? Little llama out there, Mr. Little Llama. Actually, we should call him Prince Little Llama, right? We'll call him the Prince Little Llama. Llama Prince? We're supposed to be talking about Alec Murdaugh here. How unprofessional of me. How unprofessional. But how many times, I mean, we all watch this damn thing. Like, what else can we talk about? Alec Murdaugh stole a bunch of money. His son killed a girl. It opened his books up. He freaked out because somebody, yeah, big boy. Happy birthday, big boy. Don't forget, yeah, Mama Llamas. Boys, be a big boy. 5 years old today. Big 5-0. Big 5-0. Big 5. We're not trying to rush him we're not trying to add that 0 behind him yet. Tell Alex I said hi. I don't think I'm seeing Alec, guys. I might see Dick. I might see James. I've got a couple questions for them, but to be honest with you, again, we're creeping up. Like, we've already been live for about an hour, and I have to be honest with you. It is there's not a whole lot of media out here. Let me just, you guys know how it is when you guys saw Colton County when he was on trial for his life for killing. Like, there it is. We got like no media out here. I figured it would be a media circus. I mean, granted, it is starting at 10, and so some people, but it still takes a lot to get your, like, they got big equipment. Like we because we're mobile and we're always mobile, we have to condense our equipment. We can't have those big cameras. I've got the camera fund right now to get me it's a normal camera. It's not a normal camera. It's one that takes expert in beautiful footage. It's like Olivia's camera. If you guys seen Olivia's camera, you'd think that stuff that she shoots, you think it would be a big like news camera. It's not. It's like a regular camera with a lens on it, and you change out the lens. And it just has it's a very high quality recording and photo taking option, it's just very expensive, and it's very high quality footage and I don't know, resolution. So that's really what you're paying for. You're paying for the clarity. The lenses, you go with a cheap lens, yeah, it'll work. But it's the reason why you spend a lot of money on the lenses is because you want a good quality lens that gets the amazing photos. You can a normal lens, like for a novice, A lens is a lens. To a professional, it's the quality of the image. Like Olivia's all about quality. She spends a lot of time making sure every detail of her documentaries are perfect. She can't stand a mistake. She can't stand something. You guys should hear. She goes through that video. If I said 1,000 times before it's produced, I'm not lying. 1,000 times before it's produced. She's got every little crack at every little perfect second. She's very detailed. She goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth nonstop. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to. I'm probably going to have to go sit out in the car or something. My toes are starting to get a little too cold. And I really don't have. I mean, I guess I could bring I do have a blanket. I guess I could drop this down a little bit and go grab my chair. And come back here because I've got a blanket I can probably throw over my legs and my feet. That might be what I do. Maybe I'll go back there and get a chair. Come back here and sit. But what time is it? I don't want to, because I got a lot of equipment out here already. I don't want to pull more out if I don't need to. An hour and a half, an hour. In my opinion, he's going to hide in basement. Who? I miss everyone. Good morning. It's nice to see everyone this morning. We're just out here in front of Alec Murdaugh's court hearing, and we're just trying to make heads or tails of it. We knew that he was coming up for sentencing, so since I was already heading to another case, I decided to swing in here since I was driving. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I went probably about 30 minutes out of my way to come to this courthouse, but to be honest with you, it was worth the 30 minutes detour. I can tell you that. You know, I have an opportunity now. It doesn't mean I'm going to get it, but at least I have a good opportunity of actually getting Dick Hartpullian or James Griffin on the record. Primarily, you know, you guys know this financial crime stuff. I really, it's sad what he did, but it's not really the stuff that we do. We don't really care. We're the Bullhornbetty channel. We could, you know, I mean, financial crimes are bad, but that's what law's for. But we don't really cover financial crimes. Our stuff is missing, you know, murdered, and, you know, just those types of things. Just finding answers and bringing that stuff back. So financial crimes, to be honest with you, is kind of not really up our alley. But because we've been monitoring Alec Murdaugh so much, and because we followed his entire trial for Maggie and Paul, and then, you know, all of this stuff with the clerk and Stephen Smith, it's kind of hard not to, I don't know, it's kind of hard not to come here for the financial crimes, because we've been running a lot with the Stephen Smith stuff. And Stephen Smith, well, I'm starting to believe, I don't know what to believe with Stephen Smith, because to me it still doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because why were the Murdaughs there? Why were the Murdaughs so helpful in that case? That's the problem that I have. There's some type of connection. I don't care who was driving the truck. I don't care what truck it was. I don't care who it was. I don't care. There's a connection. There's no way the Murdaughs jumped on this quickly without it being a buddy of theirs, a friend, or somebody that knew their sons, that their sons were freaking out about. Maybe they called there for help, you know, called Buster and said, hey, Buster, I jammed up. I just, you know, I think I might have been the one that did this. What can I do? I need some help, brother. I need some help. Can you do anything for me? You know, we don't know. All I know is that it just seems very sus that the Murdaughs were on the scene. The Murdaughs reached out to the Smith family. The Murdaughs wanted to help pro bono. The Murdaughs wanted to do this. You know, you had the one woman out there looking at the scene, or driving Stephen's mom driving by and seeing Randy out there with somebody else that looked like a Murdaugh, and he's trying to say no, it was the private investigator. Like, why are the Murdaughs paying a private investigator? You know, just all this stuff just doesn't really add up. It seems like somebody was covering somebody's butt, and I'm not saying that it was Paul or Buster that was in that car, but it was somebody that they knew. It had to have been. It had to have been somebody they knew and they were trying to protect, because that whole entire autopsy, everything was all cluster, you know, effed from the beginning of the case. There wasn't a good investigation, and it took Paul and Maggie dying before they gave that child a good investigation. And now they finally know they should have known this 8 years ago. This woman, Stephen's mom, should have never had to suffer for that long. Should never have had to suffer that long. All right, I'm trying to decide whether I need to go back to the car and warm up. I'm like, my toes are literally freezing. Whew. We got this. We got this. I got to remember we've been through worse, right? We've been through worse. We were out in front of Idaho with snow and slush. But the difference was I had 2 pairs of socks on. 2 pairs of thick socks on. This one I have one tiny little thin pair of socks. You know. Just saying. Ooh. So, like this. Let me see. Okay. Oh, shit. I think I just missed. I think I might have just missed people coming in, guys. I think I might have just missed Dick. I just realized people are coming in. Shit. All right, guys. So I'm unsure. I'm unsure what they're doing. I was going to go over there, but there's an officer on the phone, so I was going to ask him, you know, what the process is, you know, the procedure, everything like that. But to be honest with you, I don't know when. I don't know if Dick is here yet, but I have a funny feeling I need to get up closer to that. So I may have to leave you guys here for just a few moments to get those shots because, you know, they're going to have to park and come in. So I need to be up there. the Beaufort County Courthouse. For those that are just coming in, we're here for Alec Murdaugh's sentencing for his financial crimes. Those financial crimes were 100+ crimes that he could have been convicted for, looking at serving over 1,000 years behind bars. He chose to do a plea deal, accepting 22 of the 100 charges. And those charges included money laundering. They included basically forgery, putting your signature on an unauthorized document or something to that effect, as well as stealing from the law practice as well as his clients are among the charges that he faces. Even those charges, those 22 charges that he has a plea deal with, we're going to garner over 240 years behind bars. So he did get this sweetheart deal of 27 years for these financial crimes. These financial crimes would have put him under the jail. His wife and son would have done that, but stealing money from his clients will. Trust me, in America, your money's more valuable than your life. That is what our bureaucrats, politicians, and our justice system tells each and every one of us, is that our lives matter less than profit. I have a problem with that. Alec Murdaugh, he was raised in a very elitist, socialite type of environment. His family is a historical family, not just in South Carolina, but across the United States, as they were the ones that held the solicitor position some people say over 100 years, but I don't know if it was 100 years. I think it was right at 100 years when the solicitors changed. Again, these are a lot of the things, people don't realize. I do fight very hard for term limits. And this is one of the reasons why I believe in term limits. I think that one family in power for 100 years is too much power for one family. It's too much power. Back in the day, we didn't understand that. But now we're realizing that we have given way too much authority over to our politicians. They work for us, and we need to make sure that we have all the fail-safes in place so they don't get corrupted. And if they are corrupted, they remove very quickly. I feel like this family may not have been corrupted, but I do believe it had been. And I believe Randolph knew that. And I believe Randolph was part of it. God rest his soul. I don't know him. But, I find it awfully funny that everybody in the family called Randolph. So it's hard for me to believe that Randolph's hands are clean. And it's just because I'm applying that standard. Doesn't mean that he did anything wrong. Just because I think it doesn't make it so. Right? It's just a theory of mine. So it's just a theory. But I do believe Randolph was the fixer. If you heard any of the stories related to Buster or Paul, every time they got in trouble, they called Grandpa. Grandpa always fixed the problem. Godfather? Henchman? Yeah, possibly. Possibly. It doesn't, I don't know. I did go up and talk to the... I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter if I go to bed at midnight. My alarm wakes... Not even alarm. It's the internal clock, right? I wake up at 3. I try to go back to sleep, and the alarm starts waking me up at 4:30. So it's like 3 o'clock is basically... I just learned that's when I get up. Whether I like it or not, trust me, it's not a choice I choose to make every day, but it just makes it for me, right? Jesus, take the wheel. God bless you. I figure it's for a reason, right? We have to roll with it, right? God gets you up, you gotta go with it, right? Put your big girl panties on, pull yourself up by your boot straps, and put one foot in front of the other. That's how we roll over here on the Bullhornbetty channel. That's how Bullhornbetty rolls, right? The third person. Like, I don't know. I want to have my damn sound card. Like, I'm ready for some claps. I'm ready for my bebopping, I think it'd be kind of cool. Sorry, I'm trying. You guys are seeing me bebopping. It's just because I'm cold. I have to be honest with you. I got. If I had some music, at least you guys would think I was dancing some music, right? My clock is broken. I wish mine was. And you know what? I am Team Summer. I got an idea here. How people swap houses and stuff? I'll trade you my alarm clock for yours. Give it up. I'll take your alarm clock. I'm telling you. Even Steven, I won't even charge you for my alarm clock. No, it's because you paid for it. No, I'm just joking. But, I'll change it here. I'll trade you here. I do it because I have to go potty. Oh, sweet misery. You better be glad I don't talk about private conversations, right? So sweet misery's like, no, you Betty, don't you dare. So she's like, I try to watch you, but you're up too darn early. And she's like, I get up and use the restroom, and I try to see if you're. And Ronnie's like, hey, I gotta get up and use the restroom. That's why I'm up that early. Sweet misery, you can shoot me later. She's like, I'm never talking to you again, Betty. Hey, but you know what, sweet misery? At least I'm not putting tampon up your nose on the chat because I love you so much. Like, I only do that for Sonia, right? Somebody else came in here. What was it? Was it Skittles? Skittles came in here and it's like, hey, I got a nosebleed. I said, do you need a plug? I got a couple of them I can send your way. I need to stop. 7 degrees in Scotland? Holy smokes. Devil Doll, you might need to get a passport and come to Florida. Just saying. We don't have that problem over here in the States. In some places we do, right? But not my places. Hey, love it. It's nice to see you. Good morning, everybody. For those that are just coming in, you're wondering, what is Bullhorn Betty doing this morning, right? I am in Beaufort. I'm in Beaufort, South Carolina, rocking it out with my coffee beans out, baby. And we're here trying to go over the financial crimes of Alex Murdaugh. He was convicted. He had the sweetheart of a deal. His 101 crimes were going to, or 100 plus crimes were going to net him over 1,000 years behind bars. And he negotiated that down to 22 charges. And those 22 charges were still going to net him 240 years. So having a 27-year sentence for 22 financial crimes from 240 years, well, from 1,000 to 200 to 27. That is what we call a sweetheart of a deal. But we learned from Creighton Waters. They're doing this to solidify his time in jail, just in case. Remember, he's got some powerful attorneys. He is a powerful attorney. Let's not forget who Alex Murdaugh is. He was very good at what he did. He was a very successful man at what he did. He's a well-to-do attorney, and he knows the law. So there is a possibility of we never know how this stuff goes. Like I always tell you, you never have a slam dunk case. Never, ever, ever, ever talk about having a slam dunk case, because as soon as you say you have a slam dunk case, you will find that case twist all over on you. Like, what? Right? So they wanted to solidify that he would be behind bars no matter what happens with that murder, because we know he did it. And I know some people like Mike, we are a resident defense attorney. We got to have them, right? It keeps this channel balanced, whether we agree with Mike or not. That's up for interpretation, opinion. Big Mac Mike, we love you. So, we have, if for any reason he does go to appeal, and I think they state as appeal for the motion for new trial. I'm all confused. I got to go back and look at the details. I don't want to advise you guys wrong, but we definitely know that the motion for new trial is going to be making it to the courts. It is my understanding that Judge Newman has decided to stand down on any of that. And I think that that's probably the best strategy. I mean, the defense has already thrown the clerk under the bus. The defense has already thrown Judge Newman under the bus. I've got to say that this whole situation with Jeffrey, whether or not, we don't even know if it's connected. I mean, we are hearing wiretapping. We're assuming it's connected, but we really don't know. How do we know it wasn't his girlfriend? I mean, to be honest with you, it could be, right? I mean, it could be a love triangle and, who knows? Who knows? I don't think it's that. I think it's something to do with this case. I really do. But, I mean, just to throw that out there, it could possibly be something else because, again, at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know. And I'm having I'm having a hard time finding any records without physically being here, and I'm going to have to start campaigning across this country to get these records online, because it's unnecessary in 2023 to have to go through a gatekeeper to get public records. They can't deny you the public records. They can't. And think how much money each of these cities, states, and counties would be saving if they just put it all online. And that's one less employee that needs to be working on just busy work. Get them in a position where they can do meaningful work instead of this busy work. Like, why is South Carolina paying for people to shuffle paperwork in a digital age? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I think any community that has not gotten their stuff online yet, where it's accessible, public records are accessible online, there's a reason why they don't want you to have access to them. That is what I believe. Because there's no excuse. If anybody wants you to have access to public records, then they're going to give you access to those public records unobstructed. Period. When you start putting gatekeepers in place, it gives me, like, a person like me, makes me wonder why. Why do you need that gatekeeper? It's either public record or it's not. All public records should be available to the public online. Period. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Good morning. So we're getting close to here. I don't see anything going on. I see a whole bunch of law enforcement out here. It almost implies that I expect them to, the Alex to come here, but, with all the law enforcement, but I don't know. I mean, I would think that the people, I would have to believe, we're 45 minutes to the court hearing, and I haven't seen, James and Dick might already be in, because when I went and talked to the officer, I asked him, I really don't know if they've come in or not. So they may have gone over to the jail to talk to them, to prepare them, because they always, attorneys have that ability, because it's an attorney, they're an officer of the court. An attorney is an officer of the court. And so they have the rights to go over and visit with their client in a confidential room, without other people, because they're the attorneys and they have the right to have confidentiality. So I can imagine that they probably went over there early to get him, bring him his suit. Well, actually, he doesn't have a suit. He's going to be in an orange suit. He's over, being able to be dressed out again. So they're probably just going to go there and just chill with him and talk to him. And, at the end of the day, I heard that Alec was going to church, that he had been going to church long before, that the family went to church. So I have to believe he's a God-fearing man. I have to believe that, maybe they're praying for him and praying over him. I'd hope. I'd hope. I don't want, throughout this process, I hope God infiltrates his heart, not leaves his heart. Yeah, probably sneaking in donuts. Yeah, probably, They're friends. We have to, they're friends. And we can't knock that because, again, nobody expected this. I have to say that, it's like, to put this in perspective, even though we know Alec probably wasn't like he was a powerful guy, so people knew what he was capable of. But put this in perspective. We all know and love Mama Bullhorn, right? We all know and love Mama Bullhorn. Mama Bullhorn is a beacon on this channel. She's just a sweet, 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 dear lady, right? I have the pleasure of calling Mom, but she's just a darling woman and just too cute for words, right? And it's like us trying to convince ourselves that my mother just gunned me and my sister down, right? Like, none of us are really going to believe that. Like, it's Mama Bullhorn, right? So that's kind of the situation that we're dealing with the Alec Murdaugh. I just think that everybody was just, nobody wanted to believe he was capable of this. I don't think anybody wanted, even back when they were hearing that, weird stuff was happening with the finances, it was after Mallory Beach had already passed away. So everybody there thought he was just trying to duck bob and hide assets. Everybody they knew he was going to be making moves, right? They knew he was going to be making moves, and they just assumed. And that's the bad part about assumption. They just assumed that all this weird activity he was doing with the money was associated with hiding assets from the civil case. So when they started asking around, things started getting a little more intense. He started being a little more belligerent or rude and mean and nasty to the people asking questions. His office staff. Remember, this is his office staff. And so finally, when things were starting to get too much, his dad dies, or his wife dies, and then shortly thereafter his dad dies, or vice versa. I can't remember the exact date, but I know it was in a matter of days. I think it was Paul and Maggie were killed, and then his dad died, or it was his dad died a couple days before, and then Paul and Maggie. I can't remember who was. You guys would think I would remember this, but it's one of those things where you're out here and your brain just goes blank as you're talking, right? You know this stuff, but it just goes thinking blank because I've been focusing so much on Stephen Smith that all the information related to Stephen Smith's case is in my head, but the stuff that was from months ago is kind of I'm losing some of it, so I can't remember how that went, but we know that within days, I think Paul and Maggie died, and then within days of Paul and Maggie dying, Randolph passed away. And it was really creepy because many people thought Alex was a part of that because he was the last one to see Randolph before he went in, and then, so it's just been, this whole situation has been just tattered with a bunch of stuff, but we have to, even the Colton County Sheriff's Department knew when they went out there that this was above their pay grade and they needed to sled out there, that this was something, this is a Murdaugh, this is a solicitor, assistant solicitor, volunteer solicitor, it doesn't matter. He was an officer of the court, and he now has 2 dead bodies on his property, and those 2 dead bodies is his wife and his son, and he's out in the middle of nowhere. They want to know what the heck happened, right? So they called in SLED, and thank God they did, because I really think I think some people were after him anyways in the county, like the new solicitor. I think they knew that there was some corrupt activities going on. I think there were some corrupt activities, and I think people were just kind of tired of it. I think they were tired of the power that they wielded. Because I got to be honest with you, a lot of people have reached out to me from that area, and they told me, it's not just 1 or 2 people, and like I tell almost every single one of them, I would have never known. I literally would have never known that there was this corruption that just infiltrated. There's a hint of corruption in just about any community because we got politics, right? And we got cronyism. We just got people that get the job just to have a paycheck. Let's be honest. And so we deal with all that in just about every single community we go through. But this is just a little bit different, in my opinion. This was really egregious. This was almost in your face, so to speak. But there's a lot of people in the community in the Low Country that reached out to me because, especially when I was speaking kindly of Becky Hill, they wanted to inform me that, maybe I need to, just caution myself because there's a lot of corruption there. And when it comes to politics, it's politics. And we have to remember that. At the end of the day, no matter how we feel about Becky Hill, she is still a politician. She still has to get vote. And she still has to work for somebody, right? And it's usually the one that's funding her campaign. We all like to think that the people are in charge. Kind of, sort of. We're kind of, sort of in charge, right? But it's the people that provide the campaign funds that really kind of wield the power over that politician because they need those campaign funds in order to be reelected. So it's kind of right there is kind of you see where I'm saying? It's already ugly and disgusting. So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're getting close to being started. It starts at 10 a.m. So we got about another 30 minutes. And we're going to be about 2 hours on this live. And then after I'm done here, I'm going to go ahead and pack up. We're going to go back to the room. I'll start another live when I get back to the room to discuss what we learned and hopefully be able to play what's going on in the courtroom. And And then we're going to start on with our day. We've got several places that we're going to be visiting today. We're going to be learning a little bit more about the victims of these crimes. And we're here. We're here. We're going to be going by where Paul was drinking at. We're going to go hang out tonight in downtown Buford, right? We're going to go down and we're going to be hanging out. We're all going to be hanging out together. So I'm not leaving any of you guys out, any of you crazy critters out, even the ones in the back. We're gonna be hanging out, right? We're gonna be riding. So just give me about another half hour. We're gonna be packing up here. 5 deaths. What does it say? Where is it, Devil Doll? We're at 5 deaths. Surgery. What the? Oh yeah. Surrounding Alec Murdaugh's. Yes. That is correct. There's a lot of death, 2 which were murdered, 1 that died of a fall, and but see, the whole thing with Stephen Smith. And I keep trying to tell people, and people, they're going to believe what they want to believe. I can't force people to believe whatever. But when I was down here and I was looking into the allegations of whether Buster had this affair, this illicit, secret love affair with Stephen Smith, this is what I found out. And you guys can believe what you want, but I heard through several resources. This is corroborated at this point. I'm gonna say it's corroborated at this point, okay? But that those rumors didn't start floating around until after Stephen Smith's death. And unfortunately, it just seems like it was a rumor. It was a rumor because people knew that the Murdaugh names were coming up in it. I think people were have a very creative brain. So I think when they hear things like the mother say, well, he was going fishing with a prominent family, but nobody would say who the prominent family was. And then hearing that the Murdaugh name has been brought up and knew that Buster was the one that went to school. So now you have people trying to connect dots that aren't there. They're lacking information and they're trying to make sense of what they do have. And to a normal person, common sense and stuff like that, you're hearing prominent family, you're hearing the Murdaugh name, Buster's in the same, and you just start theorizing, and then those theories turn to facts. You see how that happens? So it's very easy to get confused, but in all fairness, I do believe that, it's that it doesn't hold water. I was a little hesitant on it because, let's face it, we see him with a girl. Just because he's with a girl now doesn't mean that doesn't mean anything. We've got people that, they don't really care. Right? So it doesn't really matter. And it shouldn't be, the only reason why we're talking about that aspect with Buster, that's got to be a very personal and private discussion, and to have that being plastered all over news, it's got to have been very embarrassing for him and just unkind. And then we find out it's not true. I just, again, I'm very upset with Buster because he sat on his dad's side of the court hearing, and I really feel he should have been on his mother's side. Even if he supported his dad, where was the support for the mom and the son, the real victims of this? And there was none. And the Murdaughs, they just sucked. I have literally, after that hearing, I lost every ounce of respect for any Murdaugh associated with that family, because they chose to sit on the side of Alec and didn't even give 2 craps about Maggie or Paul. They're family members. At least that was the appearance. Now, I'm not going to say that is the truth because I don't know what's in their mind, body, or soul, or in their heart. But I can tell you that's the way it appeared to me. And I just felt bad for Maggie. I kept thinking of all the good that she had done, all the stuff she sponsored, I'm sure, all the good she did in the world. And when she was gone, her entire family sat on the side of the murderer. It just is unfathomable to me. Because I will never, ever comprehend that. I will never, ever, ever comprehend that. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. It is 9:30. I'm going to get the equipment put back up. I'm going to see how hard it is to get in there. I may go inside just for a little bit just to get a lay of the land and see what's going on. But that's it. This is it. And then we're going to be on. The good news is being out here in this area. Being out here in this area is sorry, my phone's going off in my pocket. Okay, I think that's good. Mom's giving kisses. Just thought I'd throw that out. Mama Bullhorn, if you're in the chat, I just want to say hi. I'm a little cold. My toes are starting to hurt. So I'm going to go ahead and pack up because I don't anticipate anything really going on for the next half an hour. And not only that, if it does, I need to be mobile with the phone. And I've got my camera. I got one of my bigger cameras here. So I've been taking some stills. I actually got some pretty good, turn this on, I'll show you guys. Oh, you can't see it very well out here, but I got some really good shots of the courthouse. Some really, really, really good shots of the courthouse. Stills, I didn't do any video camera with this because it just doesn't do well taping, and I can already tell there's just something, this thing needs I'm not sure what it is. I got to take it to the camera because there's something going on with it. It's not like, it's a fast camera, it's a T-Rebel, but it should be taking, when I take photos, it should take them, boom, 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 and it's really starting to lag on me, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the speed of but I made sure I have the right, a very high speed memory card in here, so, but this one doesn't, I wish that this one here, did like Olivia's Sony. If I could get images and videos like her Sony, I wouldn't need another camera. This one just doesn't do it. Unfortunately. But anyways, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here and see what's going on. So I'll talk to you guys here in just a little bit, and we'll chat soon. Take care. Bye. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and roll on out of here. We're already up. We've got, thanks. Yeah, thank you. We got about 30 minutes before the hearing starts anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and pack up and get to somewhere warm. I'll be seeing you guys in a bit. Stay tuned to the Bullhorn Betty channel. And we'll be rocking it out with our coffee beans out this morning. We're going to be riding all over the place, and you guys get to go for a ride. So stick with us. Also, make sure you set all your notifications to all today while we're going through this process if you don't want to miss anything. Again, we've got a lot of places we're going to be going, a lot of places we're going to be seeing, and I'll see you soon. And next time, I'll try to get it on StreamYard so we don't have this problem. I can use both phones. I wasn't thinking about that whenever I went live with YouTube. I was just thinking it was going to come in a lot clearer. I didn't have to go through a third party, because I wasn't sharing anything. But the one problem is that when I'm not on StreamYard, when I walk away, I can't set you guys up to see where I'm walking. Like I got 3 phones with me, one stationary on this tripod, one's just for videos, and then of course the Apple, which is what I interview and take you guys along with further away, because these phones here have no SIM cards, so they're powered by the hotspot. So these have to stay here. So I use this one for the hotspot. I use my cell phone so I can carry it around, and you guys can go mobile with me. And then I have the Samsung for videos and editing. So thank you all. Man, let's say we do our best. I want to show you guys this. I think the next thing we're going to need to do. Oh, let me move this back. I think the next thing we're going to need to do is one of those rolly things, right? The little little wagons with wheels that collapse. The collapsible wagons. I think we're gonna have to upgrade to that because I'm getting tired of lugging this stuff around. I gotta be honest with you. It's a lot of weight. It's definitely a lot of weight. So, all All right, guys, we'll see you soon. For those that would like to, I still have to get our place that we're going to be meeting at. Everybody's got my contact information. If you guys are out in Tennessee on the 30th and you guys would like to help us search, reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. We're all hands on deck. We've got several areas that we just want to take a look at and look into for Layla Santinella. So if you guys are out in the area and you want to pitch in and lend a helping hand, we're asking for all and everybody that's willing to. There he goes. Okay, Court TV just notified me 30 minutes, so we're going to get back to the room so we can run this live so you guys can see it live. Chat soon, and we'll see you. Don't forget to sign up, and I don't even know what the heck I'm saying. I'm so tired right now. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. Okay, there we go. Now I don't know how to turn this thing off. The problems I have out here. I think this is it. All right, guys, I'm stopping streaming now. I love you guys. Be